On today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the brand new LEGO The Batman Movie Set 70901, the Mr. Freeze Ice Attack. Nice to see you, Batman. This set has 201 pieces and is recommended for ages 7 to 14. Yeah, Spot would have to definitely go back and pick up more of the Batman movie figure and movie Lego sets. This set, fairly affordable as well. This set's only about $14. I found this at Toys R Us. The set also includes a Batman, a security guard, and Mr. Freeze, and above and beyond that, Mr. Freeze also comes with this really cool ice mech suit. Looking forward to getting this guy opened up. Warning, choking hazard, some toy contains some small parts and small ball, not for children under 3 years of age. Spin around the back of the package, you can see how the figure is showcased here, or some action poses between the mech suit taking on the Cape Crusader. I rather also like the fact that they include this kind of ice chamber to which you can put this security guard inside. Shows you how to install Mr. Freeze into his mech suit. I'll show you that in a second. Batman also stopping for a cup of coffee. Also something to note as well. And there is a flick-fire missile. Also, we'll show you that too. Build something Batman over at www.lego.com/Batman movie. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up, and we'll get it built. And when we come back, though, we're going to get a better look at the Batman movie set 70901, Mr. Freeze Ice Attack. There's more anyway, guys. Don't go anywhere. To assist in your build, the folks over at LEGO include a fairly meaty instruction guide showing you how to build the set and get eventually the mech suit for Mr. Freeze and all the other things that you see in the picture here. As always, LEGO has a very easy to follow instruction guide, no problems whatsoever, and the build time for this took Spot about 15 minutes. I was kind of just doing this while watching TV, as I normally like to do when I'm building my LEGO, so about 15 minutes or so, but you could probably build this a lot faster. Put that to the side. Before we have a look at the mech suit, the ice chamber, and some of the other goodies, let's have a look at the minifigures that come included with the set. For starters, you get yourself a security guard, which looks pretty cool. I have to admit, it looks pretty neat. He does have kind of like a firefighter's gas mask on. He also comes with a rather large, I don't know if that is an actual just a gun or not, but it's quite large. It's just an extra piece that they've added to the existing guns that they make available for the minifigures. Let's take that out of his hand for a second. And let's just bring the camera back just a little bit. There we go. So this whole section here, you can remove. It's actually made up of a couple of different pieces. So if you want to just have the helmet on its own, you could do that. Or you can also incorporate then the gas mask, which is really neat actually, and it snaps, if I can actually just get my finger around it, it snaps to the back of the oxygen tanks, or the little tanks on the back of the minifigure. We'll take his head off too, and I'll just remove the tank for the time being. The security guard also has an alternate face. Now I opted to go with the panic-stricken face, but you can also go with the more calm, collected face as well, depending on your preference. So you get a security guard. Very, very nice. Always like those little added minifigures. Then you get the Cape Crusader, which currently speaking right now, I've got him with like a blowtorch gun and his batarang. Generally, when these sets are released, Batman does come with a couple of batarangs to boot. In this case, Batman came with 2. He also came with an extra utility belt, some extra bonus pieces. They always give you extras, obviously. Extras that you can then put to the side. If you ever lose these, you can always have the extras to go by. So we'll take the batarang out of his hand. Very basic batarang. We've seen these before. Nothing different there. And he also comes with his grapple gun. Now in this case, being swapped out for like a blowtorch gun. And they've even got like a little dial on the side here that has the same coloring as the flame that's been added to the front. So really, really like that. As for Batman, a regular looking released Batman, although the difference with these new Batman figures, not only is the utility belt an extra piece, which I do like that a lot, but the facial expression is a lot more zany, not zany, more expressive is the word I want to be using, more expressive here on Batman. Now there's a couple of different variations to choose from, actually 2 to be exact. He has the more open eyes, or what you can also do too, you can have the eyes slightly squinted, where he's slightly more in anguish. This also has a more happier mouth, whereas the print on the back has a more angrier or grimacing, gritty teeth Batman. Other than that, the cowl and everything else is run-of-the-mill Batman, nothing too different from the other sets that we've had a look at. Always like included Batmans. And then finally, the icing on the cake. See what I did there? The icing on the cake here is the Mr. Freeze figure. We've only gotten a couple of Mr. Freezes over the course of LEGO sets in the past. Of course, as you always know, these LEGO sets get to no longer being released in stores, then you have to find them online, and then the prices of them go skyrocketing. So whenever we get new released figures, in this case like a Scarecrow or Joker, or in this case Mr. Freeze, always happy to get a brand new Mr. Freeze, because then you can get them at a more affordable price. Mr. Freeze here has the same shoulder pad setup as the Red Hood, and actually even the dome portion of it is the same as the Red Hood, although the Red Hood obviously would have been all red. And of course the shoulder pad area too. You can take the dome off as well. Don't leave it off too long though. You know what happens to Mr. Freeze. He overheats and then he starts, he starts overheating. The face sculpt or face print is quite nice. As to be said also for the printing on his torso. Let me just take his head off for a second and remove the torso. As an alternative, if you want to just have Mr. Freeze displayed without the helmet. Although I do like, and I think the helmet goes a long way. Truthfully, I'd almost want to display Mr. Freeze more so without the shoulder pads, kind of the same way that the Red Hood, I'd like to remove the shoulder pads and leave them off completely. Although this then means the dome sits a little on the loose side. That's not going to protect Mr. Freeze. That's definitely not going to keep him cool. There's the back print there as well. A nice figure all in all. So we'll go ahead and we'll take the head once again off, put the torso on, and then we'll revisit the head and put the dome back on. There we go. Mr. Freeze also, just again, a great looking figure. He does also have a cannon, like a little gun, although it's more suited for with the mech because just of the sheer size of it. But you can, if you so wish, you can have him holding it. Although, again, look at the size of it. It looks like a Transformers Target Master. Way too big. But we'll keep that reserved for his mech. Before we look at the mech, though, one notable accessory, I should say, to be included in this set is this ice chamber. That is super, bear with me for saying this, super cool. You can take a minifigure, in this case. We can take the security guard, just kind of peg him into place. There is a section for the peg, although the helmet, you can see his hat kind of squeezes a little bit of that, but then you can close it shut. It's just hinged. You see that? It's just hinged, and you got instant ice chamber. This goes a long way, and for playability, you can certainly put Batman in there if you want. If you had a Robin, you could put Robin in there too. I only have Batman, obviously, for this review. We'll put Batman in there too. You can see exactly how cool that is. I love this. I wish if they gave us like 3 or 4 or 12 of these, I would love to make use of those. You can also make use of that for maybe like a Captain America minifigure as well. It's just as a possibility. All right, so we got the ice chamber. We'll put that to the side. Then we've got the mech. The mech has obviously the more involved build versus all the other things that we've looked at. It has very much a Transformers look to it as well. I know I said Target Master before, but like even building the boots reminded me of building like a Transformer. It is posable, so it does have a ball joint on the legs, so you can split the legs. You can move them forward and back. You can bend at the knees. You can also rotate the legs. The arms, now the arms are a little bit more on the limited side, unfortunately. I wish that they had put like a bend in the elbow, because you can only hinge. There's only a ball joint here. And then there's just a rotation where the glove or the hand is added to the arm. There's no bend here, which is sadly a thing. But I guess what you could also do too is you could take the arm off and you could move it further down by one peg so that you can actually hinge the arm, although it's not going to be as more of a secure fit as this is right here. So that's one little nitpick. I do like these tubes that they've incorporated to the back of the mech as well. A nice soft rubber, and they've put a blue plastic like band on the inside to indicate or give it the impression that it's an ice, you know, an ice construction, or it's pumping in ice air, I should say. The back here does open up. This is where Mr. Freeze is going to stand, and on the inside there's a little control console. Simply go ahead and grab Mr. Freeze, and there's making use of the 2 peg holes, just attach them to the top. And then you can go ahead and close the back portion here. And there's like a little section on the back that holds his neck in place. And there he is in his mech form. It's not a very large mech, but if you compare it to next to Batman, the Batman goes to about mid-thigh on the mech suit. So it's big enough, and also keeping the size of it smaller, it makes it a much more affordable set at only about $15 or so. Now we can bring back the gun, which is much more suitable for holding it with the mech hand, and that will just slide right into his hand, just like that. Very much does it look like a Target Master. Now there's a little flick fire missile at the top here. Just press the button, just press this down, and it fires off just a little ice cap there. Recently, or not fairly recently, but with, I guess, a couple of years ago, Spot had a look at the, I think it was the Lex Luthor armored suit. It was much bigger than the Mr. Freeze mech suit here. I kind of had hoped that the Mr. Freeze mech suit could have been a little bit bigger, but again, then the cost of this would be a lot more greater also. At about a $15 price point to get 3 minifigures, of course the security guard, Batman, and Mr. Freeze, and to get the ice chamber, and to get a mech suit, I think that's pretty good. And as a middle of the mark, I think for the Batman build sets, the low end being the balloon Joker Escape, which was about $10. This is about a mid mark, about $15. Then you start getting to the high category marks, which are about $30 to $40. For this being a middle of the mark, and to get 3 minifigures and a really cool mech, I think this is definitely a set you would want to pick up. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at another Lego set from the folks over at, well, Lego. We're having a look at the Batman movie. This is set 70901, the Mr. Freeze Ice Attack. Ice to see you, Batman. No, we don't want to incorporate any of the, no, never again, no Batman and Robin references. Certainly stay tuned, though, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time. Somewhat embarrassed, Spot wanted to incorporate one other thing, obviously, that was put inside this set as well. Spot basically built everything, and I built the little workstation here, and I put it to the side when I was reviewing. So when I did the review of the Mech Mr. Freeze, the Batman, and the security guard, sure enough, when I was wrapping up the video, I noticed that I left completely off the workstation. Boy, oh boy. The workstation, to give nothing to devalue this at all, it's a nice little side station where it's got a little cup of coffee. We can take that off right so. It just removes very carefully. There we go. You got a little cup of coffee or cup of tea, a little computer console there as well. And indicated on the back of the package, I can't believe I left it off on the entire review. There's a little lever up and down, a couple of little lights. There's a little warning meter indicator and a little dial, a little cog here. And this little section here rotates back and forth. It's a nice little set, like this little inclusion. And I can't believe, oh, I should have had a V8. I can't believe I left this off the entire review. It literally was right here, sitting at the side of my little work area here. And I completely left it off this entire review. I feel so embarrassed. There's the back of it right there as well. Now, let me add this to the video here as well. The fact that you get a little workstation, you get the ice chamber, you get the Mech Mr. Freeze, and you get yourself a couple of minifigures with the security guard, Mr. Freeze, and Batman. Again, all the more reason to pick up this set. Fairly affordable set. $15 gets you all this, or at least that's what it was here where I picked it up. wanted to tack this on, guaranteed. Obviously, anyone who had looked at the set would have said, well, Spot, wasn't there a workstation added to this as well? Sure enough, there was. Old Butterfingers here left the set way off to the side. So I definitely wanted to add this part to the end of this video. 2 minutes actually added to the end of the video, but at least you guys can see it did come with a workstation as well. Your eyes weren't deceiving you. Thanks for watching again, guys. Spot really appreciates it. I'll see you next time.